All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed reading the article. Like I said, it's a lot more up to date than the book is. The book does discuss some important elements of a cyber crime, the idea of malware, cyber terrorism, phishing, employment fraud, and etc. One of the biggest items when it comes to the internet now is identity theft. That's one of the biggest items. People get emails saying, hey, send me your bank account information. We're going to pay you $1 million. We just need your bank account information. People fall for the trap and send their bank account information. And then the next thing they know, all their money's gone. Usually those crimes prey on older individuals who aren't too familiar with the internet and how it works and all that fun stuff. Um, Also, credit card crimes on the web, credit card information being stolen here and there. We also have now the activity, a lot of recent cases about hackers plugging into the ATM to the debit and credit card machines in actual stores. It happened to Target last Christmas, and it just happened at Home Depot as well, where hackers had plugged in and grabbed credit card numbers from people swiping their cards at these stores. So there's lots of different items about how cybercrime can occur. One of the things that we learned when we went over our moot court trial that we had earlier last week is that cybercrime, it's hard to catch up to all the different actions. The law, unfortunately, is not doing too well of a job on trying to catch up to all the different new criminal activities that are going on. And so the governments are sometimes finding themselves hard pressed on how to deal with all these new and interesting elements, all these different crimes that they're having to deal with. But one of the items I want to talk about is actually cyber terrorism. Cyber terrorism has different definitions for wherever you live in the world. In the United States views cyber terrorism as people logging into computers and then affecting some sort of power system here in the United States or stealing sensitive information here in the United States. The perfect example is if a foreign terrorist group logs into, let's say, the military emails here in the United States and steals the information. That falls under cyber terrorism. Another example is a cyber terrorist logging into the power grid, let's say for FPL, Florida Power and Light here, and shutting off all the energy, all the lights here in the state of Florida. That would also fall under cyber terrorism. That's how the United States views cyber terrorism. But that's not how all the world views cyber terrorism. In countries like Russia and China, for example, cyber terrorism is also the spreading of information. Russia and China have strong restrictions on the information that you can access through the internet. China is one of the most stringent guardians of the information they allow their people to see. North Korea is another example where they're extremely strict on the information individuals are allowed to see on the internet. So they consider cyber terrorism to be the allowance of more information to be seen on the internet. They find that the United States, with their open internet laws and all those things, are actually a form of cyber terrorism by trying to encourage the citizens of Russia, China, or North Korea, for example, to gain more open access to the internet. The inflow of ideas, not the actual acts of disrupting anything, but the inflow of ideas and openness into these areas is actually seen as cyber terrorism. So it's quite neat when we're talking about cyber terrorism because it has multiple definitions depending on where you come from. I find that extremely fascinating. So today, that completes our review of Chapter 6. We'll have some fun activities to go over during class. One of the elements that I want you guys to sort of think about as we go in through it is I want you to look at page 164, 6-1, types of cyber crimes. Read that question, come up with some ideas for it when we go into class, and that'll be helpful. We can go ahead and hit the ground running on page 164, types of cyber crimes, 6-1. Go over that question so we can go ahead and get a nice jump start in class. Thank you again. Like I said, we did a little bit differently today. I made some shorter videos. There's more of them, and I also used outside source videos as well as articles. So hopefully this grabbed your attention a little bit more, and then we'll talk about whether this is a better format or not. But thank you again, and we'll keep on moving forward. Have a good week, guys.